All right, today we are diving into a theory that might just completely flip how you think about your own body. We're talking about skin, but probably not in the way you've ever thought about it before.
So let me just kick things off with a question for you. Is your skin just this passive bag that holds all your bits in, or could it be something way more complex, something kind of like a computer? Well, a new theory suggests it's absolutely the latter, and honestly, the implications are mind-blowing. Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, we've got to wrap our heads around a pretty fundamental shift in thinking. We're throwing out that old idea of skin as just a simple wall and looking at it as something much, much more dynamic. For the longest time, the standard model was super simple. Skin was a wall, stuff soaked in or out through basic diffusion, like water through a sponge. But this new theory, the skin as an information gate theory, proposes something radically different. It says our skin is an active gate, and it's constantly making decisions about what gets to cross based on information it's gathering from the world around it. And this brings us right to the core idea. It's called active interface biology. And at the very heart of it is this concept of an intelligent gatekeeper that's running the whole show. So let's meet L Sigma. We'll just call it the gate. You can think of it as the brain or maybe the central processing unit of your skin. Now, it's not a physical thing you can point to. It's more like a rule, a control law. It acts like a super smart bouncer at a club, constantly checking the conditions to decide how wide to open the doors. So what is this gate even paying attention to? Well, this is what's so incredible. It's the sheer variety of inputs. The gate is simultaneously monitoring things like the humidity right up against your skin, the feeling of air moving across it, any physical stretching or strain, and even tiny bioelectric signals. It's taking in all of this data, all at once, to make its next move. Okay, so if the gate is a computer, what's its programming? How does this gatekeeper actually figure out what to do? Turns out it basically follows two golden rules. The first rule is actually the most important one. It's the fact that the gate even exists. The simple idea that it can actively dial the flow up or down based on all those signals we just talked about, well, that's the biggest leap from the old model. It's the master controller. Now, the second rule is a little more subtle, but it is just as powerful. It's called the cross term. A good way to think about it is like a traffic coordination rule. It's constantly looking at the forces trying to push things out of your body and the forces trying to push things in from the outside, and it's checking to see if they're on the same page. And here's how it works. It's pretty cool. If the forces from the inside and the outside are aligned, say they're both pushing in the same direction, it's like two people pushing a door open together. You get what's called constructive interference, and the flow is boosted. It's easier for things to get through. But if they're opposing each other, one pushing in while the other pushes out, you get destructive interference, and the flow is dampened. It's a really elegant way to manage the traffic. Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually prove it's real? Well, scientists came up with a really clever smoking gun test designed to catch this intelligent gate in the act. The experiment is beautiful because it's so simple. First, you just measure the normal flow of something across a piece of skin to get a baseline. Then, and this is the key, you apply a tiny, totally safe electric field. Remember, that's one of the inputs the gate listens to. Finally, you watch for an immediate reaction in the flow. And when I say immediate, I really mean it. The theory predicts the flow should jump in 1 second or less. Now, why so fast? Because that speed proves that change isn't from some slow physical process, like diffusion. A change that fast has to be from a rapid, information-based decision made by the gate. It's a command, not a coincidence. And here is the magic number. To prove the theory, the flow can't just wiggle a little bit, it has to jump by at least 50%. This 1.5x increase, which they call the Gating Modulation Index, or GMI, is the undeniable smoking gun. It's the proof that an active, intelligent gate is really there and calling the shots. So this isn't just some fascinating little piece of biology. No, the real power of a great theory is that you can take its rules and build brand new things. Let's check out how this one is already inspiring the technology of the future. And this is where you can really see the power of this idea, because it works in totally different fields. For example, you could have a smart medical patch that uses airflow and your body's own biosignals to control how it releases medicine. At the same time, you can have an intelligent building material, basically a structural skin for a building, that uses strain and vibration to detect damage before it gets serious. Both of these, powered by the exact same rules, an active gate
and a cross term. So let's just zoom out for a second and appreciate the really big picture here. This theory isn't just about skin. It's a whole new way of seeing the boundaries between living things and the world they live in. And this is the ultimate takeaway, the bottom line. Our skin isn't just a passive wall. It's a living, computational interface, constantly processing information to manage its relationship with the outside world. This quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. The gate is an integrator. It takes in all these different kinds of signals, chemical, mechanical, electrical, and it uses that rich, complex picture of the world to decide who and what gets to cross the border. And so this leaves us with a huge and kind of humbling question. If we've been underestimating something as familiar and as close to us as our own skin for so long, what else is out there that we're completely missing? What other biological barriers, from the leaf on a tree to the lining of our own gut, are also these incredibly sophisticated information processing interfaces? It really is a whole new way to look at the world.